If you've been feeling kind of down, demotivated, or depressed, then this pick a card reading video is the perfect one for you. Because in today's pick a card reading, we're going to be discussing the good news about you, all of your awesome traits, as well as the amazing news that's coming towards you. And the sole goal of this video is to have you feeling better about yourself and motivated after receiving your reading compared to how you felt at the start of finding this video. So I ask of you to just take a quick moment to feel into your body, become conscious of how you're feeling right now prior to your reading, and I'll check back in with you on how you're feeling at the end of your prediction. So if you're ready to turn your day around and figure out what the good news is about you, then keep watching. Hello all my beautiful little unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa Somuayina, and I would like to welcome you into the fam. So you already know that these readings are going to be about the amazing traits about you, as well as the good news that you have coming towards you, and everything that surrounds the topic of the good news about you. So how this works is that you pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. I will be introducing you to all 4 groups in just a moment so you know exactly what decks and crystals that we're dealing with. But as a rule of thumb, it's best for you to just go with your gut feeling and go with whichever group which you were intuitively drawn towards first. Of course, if you cannot make up your mind between 2 or more groups, then your personal reading could be a mixture, and in that case, it would make sense for you to tune into 2 or more readings. And as mentioned at the start of this video, the whole point of this is to have you feeling more uplifted and motivated by the end of your prediction. So use this video and these readings however you see fit. So the 4 groups that I have prepared for you today are as follows. Group number 1 corresponds to the Pastel Journey Tarot deck, as well as the Amethyst crystal. Group number 2 corresponds to the Work Your Light Oracle deck, as well as the Rose Quartz crystal. Group number 3 corresponds to the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck, as well as the Azurite. And group number 4 corresponds to the Sacred Sea Oracle deck, as well as the Amazonite. But the timestamps to all 4 of these groups can be found down below in the description box, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section. So all you need to do is click your timestamp once you've selected your group, and you'll be fast forwarded to the relevant part of this video where we get straight into all of the good news about you. So I will now provide you with a little moment of privacy. Feel free to meditate on the cards right here, pause the video if you need to, and I will speak to you again momentarily to guide you into your predictions. So by now, you've hopefully been able to select at least one of these 4 groups. I will be starting off the readings with the first group, which corresponds to the Pastel Journey Tarot deck and the Amethyst crystal. So if this is the group that you chose, then please continue watching. And to all of my other beautiful groups, I will catch you and your good news at the click of your timestamp. Hello, all of my beautiful souls of group number 1. You chose the Pastel Journey Tarot deck, as well as the Amethyst crystal. Let's first do a close-up of the crystal of your choice, just so you can get acquainted with its energy and vibration. This is the absolutely stunning amethyst. I'd say this is like a perfect starter crystal. If you don't own any crystals yet, I would always recommend amethyst, also for jewelry, just because this is a stone that is known to strengthen your intuition and your psychic abilities, and just being able to rely on your gut feeling is super important. Furthermore, you chose the Pastel Journey Tarot deck, which in case you're completely new here, you may not know this, but this is actually the stunning, super luxe, high quality tarot deck that I authored and published. I mean, just look at these holographic edges. You can't really get this with any other deck. The link to this is below in case you're interested. I absolutely love working with this deck, and I can't wait to get into the good news about you and all of the in-between, all of the nitty-gritty little details that you may need to hear. So we've got the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands, I can see here that the good news about you is the fact that you're fierce, you're powerful, You're a strong person inside and out, and in the Queen of Wands, I can see that that doesn't take away from the side of you that is also very nourishing and caring. You're the type of person who loves to care for others, but definitely also loves to get things done when they feel inspired to. And this is some awesome news because a lot of people seem to really struggle to find the balance between having masculine energy, which is all about doing and putting force forth, as well as their feminine energy, which is about receptivity, but you've got both. The King of Swords shows me here that the good news about you is definitely also how intelligent that you are, how quick that you are, and the fact that you can see through any BS. So people aren't really able to play with you or fool you. You're not a naive person. You are wise far beyond your years, and maybe you had a bit of a rocky childhood or a tough one where you had to learn to not trust everyone very quickly. So I can definitely see here that that has made you wise to a lot of people's shenanigans. Then we've got the Queen of Pentacles. So you've kind of got it all going for yourself, group number one. You may not be aware of this, but it's a very unusual combination to have the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, and King of Swords within your reading. None of this energy is childish. None of this energy is naive. The Queen of Pentacles is all about getting your finances intact and in order and knowing what you're capable of, especially professionally and financially. You're not playing games around your finances and the things that you've worked so hard to accomplish, and that's definitely something that a lot of people envy you for, because a lot of people are just kind of after the next material possession, but you are definitely looking to build something with more longevity, and that's really the awesome news about you. Furthermore, with all of these characters right at the start of your reading that are all part of the minor arcana, I can see that you have a lot of people surrounding you who are rooting for you and who care about you. And this is an eclectic group of people, and it does really show that you're the type of person who has friends from all walks of life, and you don't discriminate people based on their heritage or how they choose to lead their lives. You're very open-minded. As long as someone is good to you, you're good to them. Next up, we've got the smoky quartz. So the good news about you is that it's time for you to let go of self-doubt. The Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the King of Swords here shows me that you've kind of been waiting for long enough to make a move, whether it be professionally or in your romantic or personal life. You kind of need to let go of holding back and also overthinking whether your intuition is leading you in the right direction. There's a reason why you chose the amethyst and why you intuitively felt drawn towards it, and it runs a lot more deeply than just the amethyst being a beautiful crystal. And that's what I see with the smoky quartz. The golden healer quartz, so we have these kind of like brown, very warm crystals show up for you, shows that there is an open door and a possibility now for you to let go and to move in the perfect direction for yourself. So if you were doubtful over whether your gut feeling is leading you in the right direction to quit your job, or maybe end a relationship that you feel is kind of toxic, or for example, move to a completely different country, there is an open door. There is a great chance for you to walk through that right now. Don't miss out on it, because sometimes you definitely need to go with opportunities as they arise. Next up, we've got the agate. So we still have this kind of golden, very warm brown honey color for you, but here we have a little bit more depth. We have this dark blue, this darkness, this mysterious inner working. In the agate, I can see here that a big part of the good news about you is that on the outside, you're very put together. But we also need to talk about some difficult things here. Group number one, we're not only here to just hear what we want to hear, right? We're here for truth. And in the agate, I can see that getting back into balance and working on things that are deep within you is so important if you want to come to the center that is light, that is all about healing, and where there is brightness and ease again. So while on the outside you have it all kind of put together. You have some trauma and some things about yourself that you need to look at and confront in order to find that light and that peace. So do know here that your intentions are pure and that's what matters most, and that all of the in-betweens are so essential for you to tend to at this moment in time. And maybe you're even thinking about something right now that you've been pushing aside, procrastinating, doing. Group number one, we're all guilty of these things. Do know that being very warm and kind to yourself is so necessary. I mentioned to you how you've got all of these stones that have these very warm types of colors. So there really aren't many stones that have this very kind of warm color. So it is meaningful to you to have this color palette show up in the form of your crystals. Take note of it and move towards taking good care of yourself internally and externally as you embark on letting go and opening new doors to new ventures. Next up, we've got the dream journal. The good news about you, and you may not notice this because maybe you just forget your dreams instantly, is that you actually have a lot of really meaningful, really helpful dreams. Have you ever heard of the craziest but best inventions coming to people in their sleep and like the best ideas coming to others in their sleep? Well, you're not looking at it as though it's happening to others, group number one. It's actually you. But the question is whether you're able to remember these dreams when you're awake and then act on them. And I can definitely see here in the Golden Healer Quartz, you are being called to open the door to the possibility of remembering your dreams, and you can do so by dream journaling. This doesn't have to be anything fancy or anything big. You can literally keep some paper or a notebook beside your bed, and every single morning when you wake up, write down whatever you can remember that you dreamt of the night before. You can also do this if you wake up in the middle of the night and start to train yourself to remember. It may take a little bit of time, but you'll get there, as it's definitely something that involves a lot of practice. Next up, we've got connect with fire. Leave a fire emoji below in the comment section, group one, just to let me and others know that you're within group one and that you're still with me. In connecting with fire, I can see here that the good news about you is that you can recharge immensely when connecting with fire. It's almost as though fire gives you energy and zest again. So lighting candles, or for example, being around a campfire, having a good time with friends and family, lighting the fireplace in your home if you're fortunate enough to have one, maybe even doing a candle meditation. There's so many different things that you can do with fire, and I can see here that this is definitely a great way for you to reconnect with yourself and kind of be in the moment and forget about everything that's stressing you out or that's circulating in your mind. So let's add a few charms to your reading, shall we? We've got the anchor, we've got the lion, as well as the sea star. So in the anchor, I can see here that anchoring yourself back into balance is going to take some courage, but you can definitely do it. The sea star is a creature. Oh, by the way, courage comes from the lion, in case I didn't explain that, group number one. I hope I'm not going too quickly. The sea star is an animal, a living being that can survive in even the most difficult of circumstances. Just think about it. Sometimes sea stars can get stranded at shore and it's hot, then they kind of get swept and brought back into the water, and it's like cold, and they have to figure out how they're going to get food, and just life close to shore. It's not easy with those big waves crashing in all the time. So I can definitely see here that you are flexible and adaptable enough to get to that next level in your existence where you want to be, right? Where you're leveling up your game financially, where you're leveling up with your relationships and connections in your life. But you're definitely going to have to be a little bit courageous getting out of your comfort zone. It won't be easy. Let's see what we've got here. We've got the number 2 for you. So the number 2 holds significance for you, group number 1. I hope that you can see this, and it actually makes a lot of sense that it landed on the number 2, because in Connect with Fire, we've got 12, and in the Dream Journal, we've got 20. So the number 2 shows up in both these cards, as well as with your dice. So continuously seeing the number 222, or just 2 in general, is definitely a sign that you're on the right path, and this is excellent news for you, because you don't need to doubt your intuition anymore. You don't need to ask yourself whether you're doing the right thing. You inevitably will know. Furthermore, I can see here within the ghost, group number 1, that there is some energy that's surrounding you that you may not be able to put your finger on, and it could be a friendly little ghost, and ghosts are just generally things that kind of interest you and that are actually bringing good news to you. It's not something to be afraid of. It's not something that you need to worry about whatsoever, because nothing ever leaves this planet. It just kind of changes form, right? Whether it is water that we have in our oceans that turns into rain, that flows into lakes and back into oceans, and we've got glaciers where a lot of water is stored, and just a whole circulation of different materials and energies. It is constantly happening on planet Earth, and nothing ever goes away, right? It's not like anything ever leaves planet Earth. It's always here, but just in a different form, if you know what I mean, group number 1. Next up, we've got reflection. So you're engaging in some very deep reflection, which shows that you're the type of person who is capable of taking criticism on board, who is capable of being introspective, and that's already awesome, group number 1. Give yourself a pat on the back right now. Let the corners of your mouth curl upwards into a gentle smile. You deserve to feel proud of yourself. Being someone who is able to reflect is definitely a trait that a lot of people could benefit from. I see here within anxiety that popped right out of the pile, and in case you didn't see it, I'll rewind for you right here so you can have another look at how it popped out of the pile. In anxiety, I want you to understand here that a big part of your life that is making you feel anxious has to do with reflecting, but maybe not quite reflecting in a way that serves you. So rather than looking at what you could have done in a better way, or looking at ways in which you made mistakes, why don't you reflect on everything that's gone right and that you've done right? Do this little exercise, group number 1, even right now. Think of something that you've done amazingly well in your life. Hold that thought. Something that brought you to where you are today, that served you and that served other people. A type of service that you've provided that you're proud of. And maybe it has to do with your job, maybe it has to do with something you've done in your private life. Hold that thought and allow for yourself to feel so proud about that. Let's move a little further into your reading. Next up, we've got movement. Movement here shows me that there's much that's going on for you in the next little bit. So movement is good news for you though, because I do want you to know here that the good news about you is that movement is a way of connecting with others as well. Movement brings more energy into your life. It brings more passion. Group number 1, I've been working out every morning. I've been getting up at 5 a.m. Usually I work out sporadically a few times a week, but now I've been working out every morning. The first couple days, you're gonna be tired. You're gonna feel as though movement is not actually giving you any extra energy. And maybe you're even going to feel a little bit creeped out, as we have here within the ghost, especially if you're doing things really early in the morning before the sun's even up. But do know that after time, you'll start to realize that this movement is something you just had to get used to feel the best you've ever felt. And furthermore, maybe some of the presence that you're noticing is simply the universe or some friendly energy surrounding you that's here to support you. Things don't need to be scary, and that's definitely something I want us to move away from as a whole. In the eagle, which actually showed up reversed for you, I can definitely see that you're going for the things that you want, you're grabbing them. So we spoke about this at the start of your reading, group number 1, that you just need to go for it. You need to let go of things that are holding you back. Open the doors, quite literally or figuratively, walk through them and take opportunities that are destined to come your way and that are specifically put in your life for you. And the eagle shows me here that you'll be unafraid to do so. You'll be unafraid to get in on those opportunities and make them a reality. Then last but not least for you, we've got water. The good news about you is your emotional intelligence as well, group number 1. Water actually represents your inner workings and your emotions, and this is awesome news because you are someone who is emotionally intelligent. You're going to be able to work on any anxiety that may be lingering or that may be holding you back, and that way you can live life reaching your highest and fullest potential. So group number 1, this is the reading that I received for you. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you truly found this insightful. Also, remember how I asked you to check in with your body at the start of this video? How do you feel now? How do you feel after receiving your reading? If you felt like this reading had a positive impact on your day and gave you some clarity and some good vibes, let me know down below in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. And if this is the first time that you are here in this magical space with me, make sure that you subscribe to my channel to never miss out on another prediction. So group 1, thank you so much for sharing this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your personal reading. You chose the Work Your Light Oracle deck as well as the Rose Quartz crystal. Let's first do a close-up on the crystal of your choice just so you can get acquainted with its energy and vibration. So you may have felt drawn to the Rose Quartz crystal because it is a pretty well-known stone, but you may have also felt drawn to it because of its energy that speaks of love and friendship and overall connections that are mutually respectful. That's maybe what you're craving and what you're after at this point in time. So group 2, let's move into your reading so we can figure out all the good news about you. I can't wait to get into it. First up, we've got the Pillar of Light. In the Pillar of Light, I can see that your vibration is rising. That's first and foremost the good news about you. You are the Oracle. You've got everything that you need right here. You just need to find ways in which you can tap into it. Now, let me give you an example, group number 2. You may have been craving a little bit of a time out and some travel to a place that is unknown where you can reset yourself energetically. And looking at flights and things like that online, you feel as though it's kind of really expensive and you're not quite sure if you want to commit like that financially, but maybe also with your time. So making the most use of everything and seeing that you've got everything that you need, maybe looking into your wardrobe, seeing that you've got some sturdy boots or sneakers, a backpack, you've got a water bottle and some snacks, and what you can actually do is go on a little hike, an overnight camping trip if you've got a tent or a possibility to sleep over somewhere, maybe even visit a friend that is a little further away. And that way you can already change the scenery, you can already tap into exactly what you want without having to break the bank or make yourself feel uncomfortable, because there are many different ways in which you can accomplish your goals or at least take some steps towards them. Next up, we've got know as well as dance. Okay, so this is an interesting combination, group number 2. I can see here that when it comes to making any big decisions right now, you're being called to wait, to postpone, and to say no. So financial commitments are a big no-no for you right now. We kind of already discussed that though with the Pillar of Light and the example of traveling. So finding a way to make the best of all that's already here for you is what you're being asked to do, as well as moving your body, dancing, doing something to shift your vibration. Moving your body however you're capable of moving your body. Some of us are struggling with injury. Some of us are struggling with maybe just feeling self-conscious when we move our body. Some of us are maybe also not able to move our bodies as much as we'd like to, or the ways in which we'd like to. And this is where it's important for you to ask yourself why you even feel that way, especially if you're struggling with something such as wanting to accomplish a certain yoga pose or move, or being able to run a certain amount of time, or maybe you're competitive in sports, or maybe because of injury you feel as though you wish you were back at where you used to be. But sometimes injury, as well as the inability to move exactly how we want to move, can be our greatest teacher and can, in a sense, be an amazing blessing of a type of self-awareness we wouldn't be capable of if we weren't confronted by any physical limitations. Next up, we've got the eagle. So the eagle here shows me that going for something that you want, even if it's something really small, as long as it brings joy, do it. So if you, for example, group number 2, would like to get yourself a little drink this morning, a little coffee, go to the local coffee shop, make time for it. The same goes for wanting to purchase something for yourself that you know will make you happy in the long run. It could be, for example, a new tarot deck, a crystal, just something with longevity that's small. We spoke about no big financial commitments taking place right now, but little things are okay. And sometimes you need a few little things just to brighten up your day, even though it's more of a superficial happiness. Although I feel as though crystals and tarot decks and self-development tools are not really on the same level as, for example, purchasing clothing or just knickknacks that are kind of going to not get a lot of use. So be very smart with what you purchase and be very smart with what you allow to enter into your life. Next up, we've got the swan. The good news about you, group number 2, is the fact that right now people respect you a lot. They look up to you. They think that you're someone who has their life put together and is pretty elegant as a human being, and you're trustworthy. The swan definitely also has this little air of superiority, which may help you in certain instances. And I do also want you to know here that the great news is the fact that people adore you. They don't look at you as someone who is hard to reach or who looks as themselves as better than others. No, they don't think that you're conceited. They just feel as though you're someone who has been super blessed throughout their life. The snake, or should I say the Ouroboros, we've got the Ouroboros symbol, and in case you don't know what that is a snake biting its own tail, which stands for infinity, which stands for cycles in life, and just the fact that it's never really over, right? Energy is something that just transpires and transmits on this planet. Nothing ever really leaves the planet. It just changes shape. If you think about it, right? It's not like anything ever falls off of planet Earth. It is still there. It just maybe changes its shape, or it's processed, or it dies and actually evolves into something else. Then we've also got the flower of life in here. So the snake definitely shows me that the awesome news about you is that you're great at repurposing. So as we spoke about at the start of your prediction, you've got everything that you need. Make the most of it. Repurpose things that you already own. Be, in a sense, a little bit more of a minimalist than you have been. Now, you don't have to take it to the extreme. This isn't about making you uncomfortable. This is about reminding yourself here that we are so fortunate, especially all of us who have access to the internet, and we most likely could make more use of our resources, especially if we're feeling down and out and just a little bit depressed. There's so many free resources and also very inexpensive resources that can make us feel better on a daily basis. We just have to commit to a practice. Next up, we've got the rainbow obsidian, healing your heart. So we just spoke about little practices that can make your day so much better. Yoga is one of them, for example. I absolutely love the channel Boho Beautiful here on YouTube. They've got so many free yoga videos as well as yoga programs. And no, I am not sponsored. They actually don't even know I exist. I'm just genuinely a fan. I love their channel. So if you're, for example, looking to do that, check them out. Then we also have things such as meditations, completely free. I just uploaded one a couple days ago, group number 2. Check that out on my channel. There are different ways in which you can heal yourself, in which you can make yourself feel better, but you have to get over that initial frustration or that initial sense to procrastinate, to avoid, to be lazy, whatever it is that you're battling with. Because sometimes taking care of yourself can be hard because you have to be confronted with yourself and also in a sense confront yourself if you haven't been taking care of you for a long time. The smoky quartz shows me here that you just need to let it go. If you haven't taken the best care of yourself or your heart in the past couple weeks and months, maybe even years, group number 2, let it go. Today's a new day. It's a fresh slate, a clean start. You can't change the past, but what you can do is change the present as well as the future. So definitely don't overthink anything from your past and remind yourself here that you've got the best chances of never regretting again by simply just starting now, taking little baby steps towards a better life moving forward, one where you feel as though every area of your life that's important to you is being tended towards. We've got the shungite, which is all about detoxing your life. Again, you can't go back in time, but what you can do is delete numbers now, okay? If you've got toxic exes, friends, just even lovers who you were dating or who made you feel badly, even if that was a long time ago. So even if you've got a chat from a past lover or love interest, an ex, that made you feel bad, that maybe ghosted you or cheated on you or just did something to you that really hurt, delete that chat conversation and simply delete the number. If there's any reason why you need that chat conversation, maybe for legal reasons or because you exchanged some sort of media that you want to hold on to, you can download the chat, you can save the bits that you need, still delete it off your phone so you don't see it, and store those photos or videos or whatever it is that you need from it in a folder on, say, a laptop, an iPad, just a folder on another device that you would actually have to put a lot of effort to get into, where you couldn't just accidentally see the chat or click into it and be reminded of those emotions. That's a great way for you to properly detox and a way for you to properly distance yourself and have those extra hurdles to where if you do want to go and reopen those chats, it takes a lot more effort and you have a lot more opportunities to stop yourself if you're doing so for no particular reason. Next up, we've got the sunstone. In the sunstone, I can see here that you're being called to not only detox your life of anything that didn't resonate with you, that didn't pass the vibe check, so to say, group number 2, but instead take pleasure in everything that you do. Make that the main purpose, the sole goal of what you're doing moving forward. And I see that the great thing about you is the fact that you see life on the bright side. You see the glass as half full. And that's half the battle, group number 2. Believe it or not, I know it sounds really simple, but the sunstone shows me here that the more you're able to embrace that attitude, the attitude of gratitude, so to say, the more you will find pleasure in absolutely everything that you do. Let's add some charms into your reading, shall we? So we've got this angel wing as well as these little tennis rackets. So I do want you to know here within the angel wing that this is usually a symbol that ancestors and angels from past loved ones, just support angels, are here and near, they're with you. We've got these tennis rackets, we've got 2, which definitely shows some teamwork and support. So that's one thing that I can see for you. But we also are going to add some numbers. We've got the number 8 for you. I hope that you can see this. After all, this is a 4K camera. Group number 2. Let's add one more number. So we had 8, and here we've got the number 4, which is quite interesting. In case you didn't know, I am a big fan of numerology, and I have a lot of numerology videos that can help you when it comes to number sequences on my channel. But just to keep it brief, the number 8 is actually a number of abundance and also goes really well with the Ouroboros symbol that we have here within the snake. Furthermore, the number 4 is a number of stability. It is that number of gratitude and of not only finding stability right now, but finding abundance and stability in the future, that being a reoccurring theme of your life. And you're capable of having way more of that. That's the good news. By just simply getting rid and detoxing your life of the things that don't serve you and of the things that are a constant reminder of times that you would be better off kind of forgetting or letting go of completely. So don't be afraid to cut those ties for good, delete those numbers. You can always save any information that you may need in a space where you're not confronted with it and its energies anymore. Next up, we've got making a meal. The good news about you, group number 2, is that right now when it comes to cooking, that's something that you're better at than you've ever been in the past, okay? You're not going to ruin any dishes. Actually, right now, you are in a place where you intuitively know what your body needs and where your body is really tuned in. So make some yummy meals for yourself from scratch that are healthy, that digest well and easily, and that simply just feel really good within your body. The Looking for Fairies card shows me that your angels and ancestors want you to spend some time outside and in nature, looking for fairies, so to say, but also just looking for areas in which you feel invited towards, in which you feel called towards. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I spend a good amount of time in the woods near where I live, and sometimes looking for fairies is just very essential and necessary, and just entering the forest and moving intuitively, because the nature will let you know exactly where you're invited into and where you'd better not go. And it's also a great way for you to fine-tune your intuition. We've also got chanting. So you are being called to look into different ways how you can chant. You can chant in Sanskrit mantras. You can chant all sorts of things, right? It could also just be affirmations. Maybe join a little local chanting class. Maybe there's a free one or a very affordable one going on near where you live right now. And last but not least, group number 2, make yourself a sweet treat. Hey, we spoke about this in making a meal. Now you have the specifics of what that meal should entail. Maybe we've got some fruit such as apple, we've got different berries, strawberries, peaches, little blueberries, but also just this little candy bar that is symbolic, most likely, of sugar and, you know, other little additives that kind of make everything taste better, right? So don't be afraid to make a sweet treat, even if it's not the healthiest thing. It can just be a really fun way for you to ground yourself, to get into your body, to experiment with different ingredients, and also just enjoy. You only have one life to live. Allow for yourself to live that best life and to not let anything from your past hold you back. So group number 2, just checking in with you. How are you doing right now? Leave a little strawberry emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you've made it to the end and that you're here. Also, let me know if you feel better after receiving your reading versus at the start of when you came to this video, because that's the whole goal of the videos that I'm creating. And I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear about how this reading made you think or how it affected your day. So feel free to leave that in the comment section too. Group 2, this is the prediction that I received for you. This is the amazing news about you and what you can do moving forward to optimize your life. Thank you so much for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me. And I'll catch you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading about the good news about you. You chose the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck as well as the Azurite. I'll quickly do a close-up for you of the crystal of your choice so you can get acquainted with its look and vibration. You may have chosen this crystal because of its royal and regal blue color, but maybe also because this is a stone that speaks of abundance as well as overall prosperity. This was a stone that was used in ancient times in order to curate paintings, as its strong blue and greenish pigments were perfect for that. But let's move into your reading now, shall we? We've got Saturn. So one thing that I can see here within Saturn is that the good news about you is the fact that you're someone who learns through hard work, and that you're someone who is a lot more patient than the general population. You're the type of person who is able to roll up their sleeves, get to work, and even when they're knocked down, you come back, and you come back 10 times stronger than how you started off. Furthermore, I can see here that you're someone who is able to grow through struggle, and that experience actually does make you stronger. So in your case, what doesn't kill you doesn't make you weaker, it actually does strengthen you. Next up, we've got the second house. The good news about you is that all of the struggles that you've been through when it comes to physical security, material values, finances, maybe even your feeling of self-worth, all of that is going to be worth it in the end, because a lot of these struggles actually just show you how creative you can get. Like when your back is against the wall financially, how things can still work out if you just put your mind to making them work out. And furthermore, if your self-worth has been in a difficult spot, you will find that you can pick yourself back up again. You don't need any type of magical experience to take place. You don't need profound enlightenment or any type of expensive service to get yourself back on track. You can do it by yourself for free using the resources that are already within the vicinity of your life. Next up, we've got Mars group 3. In Mars, I can see that the good news about you is that next you're moving forward, and you're also defending yourself. You're defending yourself from anything that doesn't serve you, from people who are trying to drag you back or drag you down, and who are maybe a little bit on the jealous side, to be honest with you. I can definitely see within Mars and Saturn that the good news about you is that through your strong work ethic, you're able to kind of propel yourself into any echelon that you would like. Even if you grew up middle class or lower class, you're the type of person who can garner the type of financial success that will make them an upper class person, so to say. Not that any of this classism is good or should be continued to be perpetuated, but I'm trying to give you an idea of what it could mean that you can transcend different type of echelons and social tiers. But I can definitely see within Mars that you also need to defend yourself from people who are jealous or who feel as though they deserve it more than you do. For example, watching a movie, that's next up for you. That's something that you can benefit from right now, especially if you've had things on your watch next list, whether it be on Netflix, Gaia, YouTube, you name it. If you have movies in the queue, simply take some time to just watch a movie, to spend some time with friends and family, and just relax. Just let yourself have a good time and turn off from the world. I can see here that it's important for you to hydrate while you're watching. And if you're someone who doesn't love to drink water and prefers things that are like flavorful, but you know water is more healthy and you should get more of it in, try to do it while you've got a distracting task before you, or while you're watching a movie. Keep like a really big water bottle in front of you where you can try to make yourself constantly just sip on it throughout the movie. And before you know it, you will have been able to drink the entire thing. That's how I do it for drinks that are healthy, but I'm not in the mood to drink, but also certain foods, like for example, cucumber, carrots, and just vegetables I'd like to get in. Even if I'm not really in the mood for them, I simply cut them up and I just put them next to me while I'm working, and before you know it, I'm like happily chewing away at them, and it's just overall an amazing situation because I'm getting my veggies in, and at the same time it doesn't feel like a chore. because I'm doing something else that I really want to do. So it's like habit stacking and creating healthy habits. I see here within pleasure that the good news about you is that exploring your body is right now very accessible to you and is something that can serve you, but you've also already done a great deal of self-exploration. Now, I don't want to get into too much detail, group 3, because my channel shall remain a family or mostly family-friendly channel. I don't even know if we can call it family-friendly. Just a real channel without using any words that will get my video taken off the internet. I guess that's a good way to put it. So in pleasure, do know that if you spent time exploring your body, having a good time when the light's out and you're just, you know, relaxing in your bed, maybe trying out different types of toys, things like that, do know here that it's important for you to continue and that can actually be a part of your beauty ritual. Don't feel embarrassed or like what you're doing is wrong. It's your body, so it's up to you how you explore it. It's up to you what activities that you engage in, group number 3. And the awesome news about you is just the fact that you're a pretty open-minded person. And the more you're in tune with your own personal pleasure and what feels good to you physically, but also emotionally, what makes you feel safe and held, the more you will actually be able to cultivate healthy relationships, because you'll be able to state exactly what you need. Because I feel like the reason a lot of relationships struggle or don't work out is often because one party or both parties don't really know what they want, or they don't know how to express it, or they're embarrassed to say exactly what they want. Okay, we've got 2 cards that popped right out of the pile. These cards did not want to miss your reading. We've got the lapis lazuli as well as the epidote. The lapis lazuli shows me here that the good news about you is your decisiveness at this point in time, and the epidote shows me that you're ready and willing to go deeper. So when something seems fishy to you or just not right, you will dig deep, you will get to the bottom of it, and that will help you to make a decision rather than going with something that feels weird. Like before signing a contract for a lease, for example, or for a bank, for a loan, just some big decision, and you kind of feel like something is off, something is fishy. You dive deeper, you explore exactly why you're feeling this way, and that then helps you make an informed decision rather than just trusting what others say. So you're definitely someone who is pretty mature and someone who isn't going to be rushed into doing something that they're going to regret in the long term, because a lot of people do really bank on the fact that in this day and age, many of us are afraid to use our intuition, or we've kind of unlearned it being okay making decisions based on our intuition and not feeling the need to explain why we're making the decisions we're making. So it's important for you to take your power back and to listen to your inner knowing, to listen to your inner guidance and not do anything that feels really wrong. Next up, we've got the Lemurian quartz. Practice patience. Sometimes it takes time for opportunities to come your way that are really, really perfect. So if you're looking, for example, for a home or a vehicle, or you're looking to move where you live, even if it's a rental, an investment in a course or a school, make sure that you do your due diligence, okay? Do your research. A lot of us will go for a few viewings or inform ourselves a little bit and only go to the source that is selling something to us, right? Like a realtor or a car salesperson or a representative of that school. But dig a little bit deeper, look at the curriculum, look at other reviews online of that model that you're looking at when it comes to vehicles, for example. Look at reviews online about crime rates when it comes to neighborhoods and homes values fluctuating, things like that, to make you more informed and to make you be able to actually have power, bargaining power, and look well informed, because that's half the battle. If you look like you're well informed, a lot of people will not try to, how should I say, take advantage of your unknowingness, but it's definitely a responsibility that is yours, group number 3. Nobody can do this for you, so be patient with yourself and take time. Don't make any hasty decisions with big financial things that can affect you for years, decades, maybe even a lifetime to come. That it is really best for you to take months, sometimes even years, go for dozens of viewings, compare whatever you're looking at to dozens of different things. Don't rush anything, because that way when you do make a decision, you know that it was undoubtedly the right one for you. Let's add a few charms into your reading, shall we? We've got the horse, we've got the sea star, as well as this beautiful canary or just bird that we've got here. Okay, so in the sea star, I can see a lot of resilience from you. And this resilience is coming from a place of understanding that there's a lot of corruption in this world. Especially when you go deeper, you'll be able to see that. And the horse here shows me that freedom is one thing that's important for you. You don't want to be led. The bird shows me that you want to sing your own song, do your own thing, and be free. You don't want to be domesticated. You don't want someone telling you exactly how much money that you can spend or making you feel restricted, sending you reoccurring bills every month. You want to be able to pay things off cash, live your life, and not be indebted to anyone if it isn't necessary. That's one thing that I see for you, group 3. Next up, I can see that the good news about you is definitely your leadership qualities. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone tell you that you're coming off too strong or you're doing too much. Your leadership qualities are what make you unique and are what make you someone who is awesome to work with. Being a leader does come with some responsibility, but at the same time, it also comes with a lot of perks, especially if you're the leader, the manager, the CEO of a company. So instead of trying to lead all of your relationships, try to use your leadership qualities in areas of your life where it will really serve you. And in your relationships, I can see that in connectivity to pleasure, just simply like allowing things to happen is the best thing that you can do for yourself, especially when it comes to physical pleasure, okay? Just allowing another person to explore your body, to have fun with you, to surprise you. Don't feel like you have to micromanage everything about your intimate life. The bee shows me a very hardworking type of energy coming from you, and this hardworking energy is reminding you in connectivity to the Lemurian quartz that money is spent so quickly and so easily, and once it's spent, it's gone. You're not going to get it back. If you've worked really hard for your money, which I'm sure you have, group number 3, be very careful of how you spend it and make sure the purchases feel right. Make sure you feel as though your money is really valued. If you're talking to a salesperson who seems like they don't really care about you, they just want to know if they're making the sale off of you or not, move on, because there's still a lot of people who are in their jobs, even if they're sales jobs, with their heart and soul, and who first and foremost want to make buyers feel really good and want to support you. The panther shows me here that laying low and just overall keeping things smooth as much as possible unless someone challenges you, that is the great news about you. You are someone who can, of course, be confrontational if you need to be. You can defend yourself. I see that here with Mars. You have a very fiery energy, but you're not going to bring that out unless it's really necessary. And I do see here in the panther and the beauty ritual that a lot of people are really enamored by that. How on the surface, you seem to not have this kind of fire and passion and drive in you, but as soon as they kind of cross you the wrong way or try to challenge you, it's a whole nother story. So that's definitely a part of not only your appeal, but that just shows that you're very quick and witty and smart, like we have here within the fox. You're very adaptable and flexible. You have no problem with versatility. You have no problem with adapting to, for example, new circumstances in your life, living situations, just as the fox, who has been driven out of its natural habitat, has found a way to thrive within the world's major cities, because, you know, as humans, we've always got to mess with animals and nature, don't we? So here within the fox, I definitely see that adaptability within you, as well as the hard-working nature that you've got, and that's really awesome news about you. Let's add a few numbers in. Also, make sure you leave a little fox emoji below in the comment section if you've made it to this point of your prediction. So we've got the number 1, which is the number of initiation, making decisions. I hope you can see this. I mean, after all, we've got a 4K camera here, all my beautiful souls of group number 3. Let's add one more. We've also got this little moon symbol. So this is the only field actually where there is a little moon symbol on it, which shows that following your intuition goes above all else, above any of the other numbers. And the number 1 being the number of decision making and initiation speaks to you very clearly here in connectivity to the moon that you should make your decisions based on your intuition and your gut feeling, not based on what someone is telling you or on what is by societal standards the norm or rational thinking. And take as much time as you need to research before you sign anything on the dotted line. So group 3, how are you feeling? How was your reading? How do you feel now by the end of your prediction? I hope that you feel better, more confident, like some stress has been alleviated, and good about yourself as well. Feel free to let me know down below in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Furthermore, if this was the first time that you are on my channel, make sure that you don't leave without subscribing in order to never miss another piece of content. And I'll speak to you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, all my lovely souls of group number 4. You chose the Sacred Sea Oracle deck as well as the Amazonite. So let's first do a little close-up of the crystal of your choice. This is the beautiful baby blue Amazonite. You may have felt drawn to this crystal because of its external appearance, but maybe also because you understood intuitively that this crystal brings calming and healing type of vibes, and that's exactly what you need in your life right now. Group 4, I gotta say I really love this deck, and it's so important for me to hype up other authors as well, because I absolutely love whenever someone has positive feedback on the tarot decks that I published. So the Sacred Sea Oracle is definitely one that I would recommend. Look at these beautiful sides, especially if you love everything about the sea. This is an amazing deck to add to your collection. It's by Justine Serebrin. Let's move into your reading in order to figure out the good news about you now though. We've got the Botanical Sea Temple. I can see here that the good news about you is that there are lots of blooming opportunities that are coming towards you, group number 4. This is awesome news as a lot of people struggle to see opportunities or even feel as though their life is filled with opportunities. But for you, group number 4, I can see that it's kind of going to go without say, and you're going to have a lot of great fortune come towards you in the form of opportunities you can take. The code keepers of divine love show me that these opportunities have to do with being in love deeply, passionately, being infatuated with another human being. So if you are single, this blooming opportunity has everything to do with meeting a soulmate or a twin flame. And if you are in a relationship, know that these opportunities speak of renewed romantic love and trust, group number 4. So especially if you've had rough patches or a relationship has fallen flat a little bit, I can see here that the good news is that you will be able to reinvigorate it and re-energize the entire connection. Next up, we've got the Coral Reef Sea Queen. I can see that you are environmentally aware. You're the type of person who is definitely concerned with the nature and everything that just surrounds our environment as human beings, and trying to optimize the way that you live, trying to create as little waste as you can, and also be environmentally friendly. And with the Botanical Sea Temple and the Coral Reef Sea Queen, there is an opportunity coming towards you where you can have an amazing impact on the environment and lessen your carbon footprint, and you're being called to take that, and that may actually even lead you to a new friendship, a platonic one, but it could also lead you to a lover, a twin flame, someone with whom you're going to have a very amazing romantic time, if you know what I mean. Next up, we've got the Lobster Spirit. Now, the Lobster Spirit shows me here that as a human being, the good news about you is that you're super grounded. And grounded enlightenment is one thing that you're able to access at this point in time and moving forward, because life has taught you some lessons, and some of those definitely knocked you off your socks and brought you down to your knees. And due to that, you're definitely someone who goes through life with gratitude as well as humility, and you're the type of person overall who can find a lot of aha moments and little tidbits of enlightenment in their day-to-day life and existence. So continue to be mindful of everything you experience on a day-to-day basis, and allow for grounded enlightenment to take place for you moving forward. So let's add some charms into your reading. We've got the dove with the 4-leaf clover, as well as this beautiful, I don't know, is this a parrot? Is this a canary? Some sort of other bird. With the dove and the 4-leaf clover, you clearly have some peace, some good fortune that's coming towards you with these blooming opportunities. That's the good news about you, as well as being very outspoken about these opportunities and bringing other people with you on the ride. This could also be a lovebird, so being able to take opportunities with a partner and just someone who you love, whether it's a family member or a partner, right? If you're going, for example, on a work trip, being able to take them with you. If you've got tickets to a concert or the opportunity to take time off and travel, I can see that you're not doing this alone. And the sunstone shows us that you are taking pleasure in the things that you do. That's the awesome news about you, group number 4. You're someone who sees things on the bright side. You're someone who takes a lot of pleasure in really mundane things in life, and that makes a lot of sense with the lobster spirit and this type of grounded enlightenment that we have here. The golden healer quartz is the bringer of a message to open the door. So there are opportunities here, blooming opportunities, like we spoke about in the botanical seed temple, but you kind of need to open the door and walk through it. Like that saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. The same goes for you, and you may not even notice this, that sometimes you've had opportunities where you've been led by divine guidance, by the universe, by chance, by whatever you'd like to call it, to this opportunity, but you kind of did not notice that you still had to open the door and walk through. You kind of did not notice that this was a great time for you to take action. And that is where the moonstone comes into play, which is all about living your purpose. If you see an opportunity to make more music or engage in more creative projects, photography, filming, painting, drawing, wherever it is that you know you can thrive and that your heart resides, take those opportunities. Don't wait for anyone to give you the green light. You can give yourself the green light, group number 4. The bloodstone shows me here that it's time for you to get up and get moving. And the good news about you is the fact that you have this hyper awareness of yourself as well as everything that surrounds you. We figured that out in the coral reef sea queen. And because you're very mindful and thoughtful of other people's needs and wants as well, that makes for really great connections, especially in passion projects. So when working on creative projects and also work projects, you are the type of person who is able to figure out if someone isn't happy with the role that they've received. Anything that involves teamwork is a really great place for you to thrive and put your best foot forward, because you're usually not involved in the drama. You're usually more of the mediator, and that's really where you thrive, group number 4. But let's figure out more of the good news about you. We've got the inner temple. You're really devoted, and you're able to tune into the portal of your heart. Even in difficult situations, you stay grounded, you stay devoted, motivated, and your ambition never fades. And you're the type of person who does things because it is the right thing to do. Even when you have other options, you do things as though the whole world is looking, even when no one is. And that's not just because you feel obligated to. You're just the type of person where even in a private moment when absolutely no one can see you and no one is looking, you will do the right thing, whether that's return someone's belongings, someone's money or wallet that you found somewhere, even if that means speaking objectively of a coworker or employee after they were rude to you, but still giving them objectivity and removing your personal emotion from their work or who they are. That is a really big thing to be able to do, and that's what I see here within your inner temple. Next up, we've got the Keepers of the Earth. The Keepers of the Earth ties in so beautifully with your environmental awareness, and understanding that you're not alone is an important part of this. Try to join, for example, some groups or some activities near you where you can become environmentally really active, right? Where you can actually practice what you preach and walk your talk. And also kind of make new connections, right? If you, for example, join a group where you pick up trash by the ocean just to clean up, you may meet more people who are like you, who really care and aren't so concerned with how things look, but they're more concerned with doing the right thing. Optimizing how you spend your time is another thing that I see here that is amazing about you, because you're always striving to be better and you're always striving to have fun with what you do, but still kind of have those things make a lot of sense, if you know what I mean. So while others may have fun just watching lots of episodes of Netflix series that involve drama, you may enjoy that from time to time, but you want to optimize your life watching things like documentaries and also putting in some educational content into your routine so you have a great time, but at the same time you're not engaging in anything that drains your energy or makes you feel like it's kind of like a toxic, close-minded space to be in. In leap, I can see that the good news about you is that the leap you're going to take next is going to be a successful one. The universe will catch you, and this is because of your outlook and your positivity. It is not a coincidence that even medical practitioners believe that having a good attitude makes a huge difference in recovery, whether it be from surgery or from some sort of trauma. Just overall believing in yourself and your capabilities. There are so many people who have healed themselves in situations that others thought would be detrimental, or others thought that they could never kind of come away from looking this good. A great example is Dr. Joe Dispenza. He does amazing meditations. He has so much great content out there about the mind-body connection and about creating your own reality and using your mind to thrive and to heal yourself, and just the fact that your body isn't a separate vehicle or machine from your mind, right? Your mind and your body, they work together. Your thoughts affect how you feel, so they affect how your body functions. So do know here that the great news about you is that you see this connection and that your attitude is what allows you to take leaps and have these awesome outcomes. Next up, we've got the crumbling. So group 4, I do see here that the good news about you is that you're a very loyal person, but the crumbling does also show me here that there is some clinging onto that you're doing that isn't necessary. There are some areas that you can let go of at this point in time, and that you've kind of like kept the door open for too long, okay? You can't have too many things going on. You definitely need to be picky and assertive. So if you've left a door open for a job opportunity and you haven't heard back from them, or for a person, for a potential lover, and they have not kind of stated how they feel about you, they've maybe ghosted you, or maybe they're emotionally unavailable, move on from that. Group number 4, there's no point in keeping yourself available for someone who isn't in a rush to respect your time and your emotions. It's important for you to ask yourself what you're clinging on to, and to come to that grounded enlightenment that your time isn't worth any less than someone else's, and that if you need clarity and you have made it clear that that is what you need, but you're still unable to receive the clarity, it's okay for you to move on. You don't need to be on standby for someone who isn't on standby for you. Next up, we've got connecting with crystals. This is a great way for you to not only ground yourself, but also to find more confidence Also, just taking a little crystal with you everywhere you go, that can make such a difference. Group 4, I have some crystals that I just keep in my pocket and my wallet that I charge, that I switch out depending on my needs. If I, for example, want to invite more abundance in, I will wear citrine crystals, but also put little citrines in my bags and my wallets. If I want to attract more love, I will wear rose quartz jewelry, right? If I want more calming energy, I've got aquamarine, just as I'm wearing right now, and also moonstone, which allows me to follow my intuition a lot more rather than questioning it. And all of you always ask me this. So my jewelry is from Bow Life, which is my brand. It's linked in the description box. So I just wanted to clarify that. So I don't want to see any comments about that. I only want to see you commenting about your reading. So make sure you leave a little diamond emoji below in the comment section if you've chosen group number 4 and you've made it to this point. So do know here with connecting within crystals that you can meditate with them, you can charge them with intentions, you can carry them around with you, you can have big crystals that are based at home, you can have smaller ones that are a lot more portable and easy to work with. It's really up to you. And in the dream journal, last but not least, the good news about you is the fact that you have a lot of really insightful dreams going on for you, group number 4. But in order to remember them, you have to find a way to note them, to keep track of your dreams. So having a dream journal is a great way for you to do that. Having a dream journal can help you not only take note of dreams, but also document and at a later point come back in order to analyze. When it comes to numbers, we've got the number 11 twice for you and connecting with crystals, as well as the code keepers of divine love, which is all about being in love. So crystals do promote love coming into your life and cultivating more love in your life at this point in time, group 4. That's the awesome news about you. I do want to add a little bit of extra numerology in. So we've got the number 4 and the number 3. Let's do one more for you. We've got the number 6. So 4, 3, and 6. I hope I'll be able to zoom in on this group number 4. But the number 4, 3, 6 is right now a lucky number for you. If you're entering the lottery, try to use these numbers. Look out for them, as well as, of course, 11, which is a master number. And then secondary, we've got 4, 3, 6 for you. So all of my beautiful souls of group number 4, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Let me know how you feel after receiving this reading. Are you more relaxed than you were at the start of this video? I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to let me know in the comment section. Furthermore, if this is the first time that you're on my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I have been consistently uploading for years, so you know you can count on me for horoscopes. I also just posted a meditation video in case you would like to move into a guided meditation right now to calm yourself even more. So check that out. I'll link it below. And yeah, group 4, that's it for your reading. I hope that you enjoyed this and that you found it insightful. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing this divine time and space with me. And I'll catch you during one of my upcoming predictions.